Stop.
Welcome back. Don't, because I'll start acting like Max, and you know how I feel about that. Guess what? You did it right this time. We're on time. We didn't skip this video, because I almost did, because I'm tired
That's what I'm saying. See what I'm saying?
I gotta get this music career off the ground.
We gotta get this money. We told y'all, listen, we dropping this heat
once a week. Although it's like not really once a week, it's like every day because we do it 30 days Christmas. Whatever. That's neither here nor there. Anyways, what's up? Anyway, let me talk to y'all for a second. And real quick, thank y'all for coming back. If you are subscribed to our channel, thank you to all the newcomers.
Yes,
and
welcome.
If you're new here and you not subscribed, sis, bro,
hit the subscribe button.
What you doing? Like, you want to be a part of the STEAM team.
Button.
First of all, we're cool. We're the cool kids.
That's number one. That's start off the bat.
Off top, number 2, we got the goods.
We do.
We drop in gems. Number 3,
information.
We actually talk to people. Most YouTubers don't.
We definitely do.
So,
what more do you want?
Yeah, like, what else can we do for you? Like, what
anyways,
do you want from me?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So, we back with another informative video for you guys.
Real quick.
All the information. Oh, yeah, book a call.
Hit us up. And thank you if you already booked a call. Yes. Because, again, the reason why I was tired is because we've been on calls. Yeah.
But appreciate the love and support, y'all. Appreciate y'all reaching out.
Y'all fed us this morning.
You feel me?
Because this morning I looked in the fridge and I was like...
but then we looked at our account and we was like, we got the coins to go get the... You know what I'm saying?
That's nice, dude.
Yeah.
That's how I feel when y'all book calls.
It's not unusual to be loved.
Okay. Anyways, so we are back with another informative video.
Oh, in the description box.
All the way. Oh, yeah. Check the description box. Y'all know what to do. Like I said, subscribe. Make sure you follow us on IG at cup of cocoa _a glass of wine.
Am I doing that?
Yes. That's how you do that. That's how the Melly Rock is going down.
That's how the kids be doing it.
That's how the kids be doing it.
We doing it kind of hard, though.
I know. You gotta
all right, go ahead.
Relax it. Anyways, yeah, so y'all have to, y'all be always wondering, you know, y'all, we on this relocation team. Yeah, no, I don't feel
like it. Okay.
Y'all know, we always got the relocation tea for y'all. We always got the relocation, the moving out of state, the which state to choose, all of that. We got all the smoke for y'all on that.
It's usually more Colorado driven, but what we've learned from our calls is that a lot of y'all don't even want to move to Colorado. Y'all just want to know how to move out of state. So we need to start sharing the love. Although we have plenty of Colorado driven material for y'all. Also, some people that I've talked to really think that they want to move to Colorado, but then once we start planning they move, they realize that they don't actually want to move to Colorado because we start talking about other potential places. So that's kind of what spurred this video because even though you have a dream place, sometimes it's not for you long term. A lot of people don't kind of get that.
They don't really understand that. So
like Oregon.
Yeah, we thought we wanted to move to Oregon too.
No, not for us.
Anyways.
Especially since they recently
did hard drugs, decriminalized hard drugs. Yeah, I don't. Why? Why are we doing it?
Okay.
So,
anyways,
we put together a list for y'all. So we compiled it into 10 things of what to know, what to research before you actually relocate out of state. This is not Colorado specific. We're just talking about out of state. This can apply to anybody, even some stuff for out of the country as well. We did have a call with somebody who is thinking about moving out of the country. And so that kind of opened our eyes as well. So we kind of
know who you are.
Hey, girl, appreciate the chatting with you on the other day.
On Monday, girl.
Yeah, so we just put together a list and we're gonna go through real quick because you know we on this 30 days of Christmas, so we're trying to keep the videos short and sweet and right to the point.
Because we're already almost at 5 minutes.
Right.
We're bullshitting. Come on.
Let's go.
Number one, job opportunity. That's like, you can't go nowhere if you can't work, fam. Like, period, poo.
Yeah, you need to definitely research what the opportunity is like.
And not only that, it's not just job opportunity. It's job opportunity in your specific field. Mm-hmm. I feel like a lot of y'all are like, oh, it's a metropolitan city, I can get a job there. You probably can get a job, but can you get a job in the area of expertise that you specialize in? If you've been working in factories your whole life, this probably ain't the place for you.
Yeah.
And there's certain places that's not the place for you. You know what I mean? Unless you want to make a career change, which you can do that too.
Yeah, you really could.
But you really need to figure out, not only do they have jobs for you, but are
What's
you moving?
What's the market like for that
What's
job?
the market like?
The growth. Is that industry doing very well in that state? Is this a
Right.
hub for that state? Is it going to be sustainable if you move here?
Are you going to lose pay?
Right.
Are you
Increase,
considering moving
right.
to a state that doesn't pay your field as much? For example, teachers get paid a lot less in the South than they get paid in other parts of the country.
Yeah.
So just to give you an example, if I was a teacher, I probably wouldn't be like, I'm finna move from one place to this other place. You know, there are some other things to consider, like the next thing we're going to talk about. But still, you need to research what you're going to be making. Can you survive off of that? Medium incomes, things like that.
Okay, so number 2 is shift in cost of living. That's pretty, self-explanatory. You need to understand that when you move from one place, not all places cost the same. Now, if you're moving from a super expensive place to a super cheap place, then that's going to work out in your favor. Or if you're doing it vice versa, then you need to understand, back to number 1, the job opportunity. Are you going to have enough money to sustain you and have enough money to pay for your bills, housing costs, and all that? Because everything is going to go up. Like for us, we moved from somewhere really cheap to somewhere expensive. So you got to kind of make sure that you save. You kind of make sure that you are budgeting. If you are really good budgeting for that.
You got to make sure based on number 1.
Yeah.
Can you survive in the
exactly.
cost of living
Right.
in the second option?
Yes.
Because it don't matter what you do. If you ain't making enough money, ends ain't never going to meet.
It's never going to meet. And you're going to be just in a new state. You're like, I didn't move somewhere, but now you're struggling. So that ain't gonna ever be good. Ain't gonna ever fulfill it. So, shift in cost of living. Number 3 is housing availability. That was something that I think we kind of, underestimated really, because when we got here, before we moved here, we were used to 3 bedrooms and 4 bedrooms. When we got here, it was like, there was no 3 bedrooms. Everyone was booked up, and I am not exaggerating. When we first got here, we did extensive research on different places.
Before we got here,
yeah. Even when we first moved here in the RV park, that should have let us know at the beginning, because it wasn't no RV. All the RV parks were full. We only found one, which where we at now, on a luck of a whim.
Well, we found that other one.
And the other one
was
dirty. Yeah, we wasn't finna go over there.
I wouldn't put my baby toe in that parking spot they had.
Nah, definitely not. So y'all need to make sure that they got the availability for the house and do some research. That was funny. You know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all are checking that out as well. So number 4 is changing taxes. Big one. All different states got different taxes, and you need to make sure because you don't want to just be out here thinking that you got this and it's going to cost more. We actually talked to the lady yesterday. We had a call and we told her we were talking about taxes as well. And actually our last video we were talking about taxes as well. That's just something y'all need to understand and know, because
if you're coming from a place that ain't got, especially for people who don't have no state income
tax, no income tax, or no county tax, maybe you just got a flat rate. I know you like it's hurting out here.
You're like, hold on, what's this line?
Yeah. You're like, they're robbing people.
Because they took $50 and I need to know.
Yeah, so you need to understand the change in taxes. All of that. Down to the city, county, state, federal, and all of that. Neighborhood, everything. Sales tax. Because I'm telling you right now, Colorado is one of those places where you can end up in different places and everything probably got
It's a lot of places like that.
It is a lot of places, but I'm saying
Boston.
I'm saying specific for us, yeah. But there are more states. I'm not just saying Colorado probably is the only one. So,
and honestly, this largely plays into how much money you need to be able to make, because if you're gonna need to buy some stuff for essential living, and if you losing money on state taxes, and then you losing money 3 and 4 or 5 times over when you shopping in specific areas, that adds up.
That adds up a lot. So be on the lookout for the taxes. Number 5 is the healthcare switch. And you can just kind of go back to number 1. When you move different places, everybody ain't got the top healthcare. Everybody ain't got the top hospitals and all of that stuff. So make sure you understand that.
Real.
Also, when you get a job, if you transfer, you need to figure out what the insurances is like, because some people got this, some states got that, some places are better than others.
Laws change
as well, and also cost. is going to change as well. You need to understand that coverage is another big thing in the health care switch too. So make sure you understand that. Somebody like for us with a big family, everybody's going to the doctor. Pediatrician, I got my own doctor. She has her own doctor. So you need to understand that after a while, that stuff can add up. So you need to understand you're getting the right coverage. Like for me and my daughter, we have asthma, so that was a big thing. I had to make sure I got something that covered my medicine and covered it well, and make sure we got the top stuff. Now we are in one of the best states, or one of the best states in the United States that have a really good healthcare system. So that wasn't too hard. That kind of played into our hand. We got lucky with that.
They got, when you say healthcare system, he mean like hospitals
and stuff like that. So that we kind of lucked up on that, but. Definitely research that, because that can be a big
I say
thing.
this is really big for people who gonna go to a place that's predominantly like a state that's predominantly made up of a bunch of like small towns. That's a big thing, because what I learned is when you start getting around these small towns, it's not good hospitals.
Right, at all. So number 6 is a big one for the people with family and kids. School quality.
Or education.
That's
a big thing. That's one of the biggest reasons why we came here, because with the marijuana industry supporting the school system here, it's one of the top.
It's definitely one of the top. I think top 3.
Systems. I actually think it's number 2 if I'm correct. In the United States. I'm not gonna lie, fam. You can look at some of these other places and you'd be like, what in the actual fuck are they doing?
Yeah. Like what is really going on? So yes, that should be a no-brainer. We actually had a lady reach out, and we do have a video coming out for the people that are Colorado specific. One of our STEAM team members reached out and asked about the school districts, because they are relocating. They are relocating to an area out here, and they just wanted to know about school districts. So be on the lookout for that video too. Number 7 is the local cultural differences. Again, another big one.
If you're a person that are seriously immersed in culture, then you don't really want to move somewhere that, like, you don't want to move to a small town. You don't want to move to a state where
it's desolate or spread out. Really no cultural diversity. You kind of want to move somewhere diverse. So
at least where the metropolitan area.
I wouldn't just knock out all of them, because mostly where the metropolitan area is, or the big cities, then you'll know that it's got to be a melting pot, because that's where everybody flock to anyway. So, once you start in most cases, once you start to spread out in the smaller towns, then those are the ones that are kind of like cliquey, or just don't really have that much diversity, I guess. But I mean, it depends on where you go. It really does depend on where you go.
I did a strategy call with somebody who wanted to move. I can't even remember where she wanted to move, but I remember during her strategy call, she did the 3-step calls. On the first call, we was talking about the place she wants to move. So when I started asking her all whatever, my spiel, and then I went to go look at the statistics. I was like, sis, I don't know if you really want to go here.
Oh yeah. That's what I say. You got to demographics is important. You got to make sure Now, I will say some of the numbers don't reflect some of the stuff.
Only 5%.
Yeah, because don't look at the number and think 5%, because sometimes I think some people will think literally 5%, and that doesn't seem a lot when you move to a big state. But out here, it's like it's a bunch of it's really diverse. So it's like in I would say in downtown, and then like some other parts of it, I would feel like it's diverse. But I would say the numbers didn't reflect
diverse.
Yeah,
it feels diverse because for us, what we predominantly care about in diversity is not being discriminated against. That don't happen a lot here. But I feel like, really, if you want to see black people, you have to go to Aurora.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I guess you're right. But I'm saying
I feel like all 5% of the black people live there.
that can be true. Just what I'm saying with the demographics is sometimes don't always trust the numbers. You got to go and actually see.
Because when I get what you're saying, because when we looked it up, it was like basically we was thinking we were never gonna see no black people.
And so that's what I was really. Number 8 is the commute type. So the commute, you want to make sure that when you are moving to another state, that you're checking out the commutes to works, the neighborhoods, everything that you are doing. If you're going to be driving, make sure you ain't too far out the city. Make sure you got maybe a little hub of stuff. We got lucky and moved to Aurora. And then when we moved out here, we got lucky again. Like our grocery store is right here. The hospital's not too far. Like we right on the major freeway. When she was commuting to work, even when we was living in Aurora, it still was like 20 minutes. So it wasn't too bad, 25 minutes, 30 minutes with traffic. So just check out that stuff. Make sure you understand. And public transportation as well.
There's a lot for people who coming from places like a New York.
Yeah.
Or where they can get around.
Oh, yes. That does. You're right. So if you are used to that, that probably need to be a state. You probably need to look up a likable state or a comparable state if you care about that.
Because that's a whole lifestyle change.
It is a whole lifestyle change. So, and I didn't know how good, like, on the eastern, like, what side of the United States, how really good their public transportation is.
Yeah, because we're not used to that.
Right.
Back home,
So,
it's like, you know, like 2 hours for
it's serious. Yeah, it's serious out there. So, number 9 is moving services. So that's just with the move. You need to check out what the move is. Sell it. Do what you're gonna do. You know
Sell it because it's too expensive.
If you thinking about, unless you finna drive yourself with that,
it's expensive that way too.
Then I had to let it go. Unless, but don't. Honestly, we was not even finna. When we looked up, we didn't get a quote less than like $3,000, $4,000. You know, like, it was not cheap to move.
It's like we that's what we paid for the furniture for. What?
I was just going to say. So we ended up for the moving services getting a truck, RV, and funding our whole move here and having a little egg for pretty much all of that. Just to, you know what I'm saying? And we ended up selling all our stuff anyway. So just be mindful of that. And number 10, probably one of the most obvious things is climate.
That's really important. That's really important.
Yeah. For us, we moved because Houston, Texas really has that part of Texas has a bad air quality because Houston is all into the oil, you know, and then when we moved to Beaumont, we're close to Louisiana, so that's more stuff, chemical plants, you know, all of that stuff, humidity, so that played a big role in where we searched. When we moved here, not so much because it's dry, it's, you know, no humidity at all, actual 4 seasons, so my body and my daughter's body, our lungs and stuff can get used to the changing of the seasons. We can kind of like, you know, prepare for it versus like back home where the air quality already sucks. It's like, you know, one day it could be raining, one day it could be cold, one day it can hail, one day it can just storm. It could just do whatever.
It's just ridiculous. For me, the climate mattered a lot because I really love like fall fashion and winter. I love the cold, and it's never cold in Texas.
Never.
And for my mental, I'm a person that loves the earth, and I really needed to see the seasons change. Yeah. Like, I could not handle just being hot all the damn time.
Yeah.
And not seeing nothing. Like, it was always, the trees was always one color. It was just, I didn't like it. Yeah. I really did. I hated it for years.
Yeah, and Texas. So when we got out here, it was perfect because now she could wear boots that she had been saving.
Ooh, and I've been booting their ass to death.
Yes, she really has been. She's been collecting boots for real before we even moved. I never got her obsession with collecting boots back home because I was like, boots. It never gets cold. But now she can do that. So
now that we here and I wear my boots, I just want to be transparent that I really felt attacked back home on the amount of boots that I had because I'm a forward thinker.
I feel you.
And I was thinking about
the future.
Where I'm going.
Okay. And I got it. You feel me? So anyways, y'all, those are our 10 tips or tricks or advice, whatever you guys want to call it, to research some things before y'all move out of state, relocating anywhere. Again, make sure y'all follow us on IG. Make sure y'all hit that subscription button and make sure y'all give us a thumbs up. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, we into this 30 days. You know what I'm saying? We out here dropping this heat once a week, but it's really once a day because you know what I'm saying. So.
And y'all, I'm still working on the ebook, and I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. It's really hard for me because it's like I'm trying to consider everybody while I'm doing it, but it's a struggle. I've been telling him because I'm like, it's hard for me to just talk to a general person because I understand that there's a difference in every person's circumstance. So I'm working on it. Real quick, just like comment down below if you would like for the ebook to be sold with maybe like a complimentary call like from me so that we could kind of like work through it as well because it's an interactive book to help you plan your move. So just let me know if like that's something you'd be interested in because I don't like just give it to you and let you go type of thing. But if y'all think y'all could do that, then I'm totally fine with that too. So just let me know.
Yep. So peace.
You already started recording. You really go?
Dropping this heat once a week.